now, I would say I'm at that level where everybody, well, I say a lot of people probably claim they want to be. I've got more time than I've ever had before. I've got financial freedom at this point, I would say. And I mean, I'm doing what I want to do now. You
Yeah.
know, I spend a lot of time doing a lot of free work for other people, but that's what I want.
Welcome to the LandLife podcast with your host, PJ Riley.
Hey guys, welcome to the LandLife podcast. My name is PJ Riley. Guys, if you're getting value from this podcast, if you're learning a ton, guys, leave a message, leave a comment, subscribe, like. It helps out a ton. And if you're getting information from this, it doesn't really hurt, right? Come on, help a guy out. Also, if you do not like the podcast, leave that comment as well. If you don't like my board, my books back here, my hat, my cool shirt, leave a comment. Let us know what we can do to get better. Guys, today we're doing something a little bit different. So this is my buddy, Keith Cantley. How's it going, Keith?
Hey, man, going great. How are you doing?
So Keith and I are going to we're going to do a new version of the podcast. It's not going to replace the previous podcast, but it's going to kind of be an addition to everything. Today we got a pretty interesting topic. We are going to figure out, can you get rich after the age of 40? Young guys like Keith don't have to worry about this. Older fellas like me, though, it's kind of an issue in our lives. Wife's always asking, when are we getting the private jet? When are we getting the swimming pool in the house? And I got to figure out how to do that. And I am over 40. People say you don't look a day over 50, but I'm considerably older than that. So, Keith, how do we do it? How do we get rich? How do we get started?
You know what I heard this week, and some people subscribe to this ideology, some people don't, but find someone who has been where you want to be and mimic their steps. And this week, I've heard it attributed to who knows how many people, but this week they attributed it to Warren Buffett. So I don't know, that may be plausible or true because he has found a lot of success. So anyway, I shared this article with you. That's kind of what we're going to talk about, I think.
Yeah.
And we'll probably keep this episode pretty brief, but it's just cool looking at what success other people have had and what stage of life they were at when it happened.
Yeah.
So this little article, let me pull it up here. It's called Billionaire Late Bloomers. And just to give credit where credit's due, it's from this website, visualcapitalist.com. I love this website because I am a very visual person, and pictures do wonders for me. So
let's try to pull it up, Keith. Let's try to pull it up. Guys, if you're listening on the audio, you're not going to be able to see it, but if you are on the video version, here it is right here, so you can check it out. Well, you can see what Keith's talking about.
Cool website, even cooler articles, and honestly, it's also a good source of information, just to kind of get your creative juices flowing, get your motivation going, whatever. So the one I shared with you, though, was about billionaires who really, they didn't hit it big until after 35, 40. Most of them were over 40. There was even several, good group of them were approaching 50 and 60 by the time that they hit that level. So I knew that's one of your long-term goals, PJ, like in the next 6 months, you got billionaire on the list. So I just thought, well, here you go. These are people that have already done it.
Yeah. So, and one thing I think is interesting is I think a lot of people right now want to get rich fast, right? They want to get rich tomorrow. So they jump onto Bitcoin and all the crypto, and they're like, well, how fast can I flip 100 houses? They want to go as fast as they possibly can. A lot of these guys, though, did it really slow. It was more of a slow, methodical approach. And then maybe they were millionaires in their 50s, but they didn't hit the billionaire mark until their 60s. They were slowly working at building this thing the whole way through.
Absolutely. And it just, again, amazes me that the stories of some of these people. I researched some of them. And have you ever heard the story of Colonel Sanders, the KFC guy.
I have heard some of the story, but go ahead.
So this guy, it's funny. Before he did the fried chicken thing, he did lots of stuff. Of course, like everybody, he grew up in abject poverty and was dirt poor and then worked his butt off. But his mom got remarried. Stepdad kicked him out of the house when he was like 12 or 14 years old.
Jeez.
Literally. Like kicked him out of the house when he was a kid. Now you get thrown into jail for doing that. But so he goes out at that age and starts hustling. Some point in his life, he goes into the gas station business. Okay. So he's in the gas station business, and he knew no internet. I think this was even pre-television, maybe. I've got to let people know where I'm at. He goes around and starts painting signs on the side of barns saying, gas station ahead, and then he starts selling food in his gas station. Now you don't think about that being a big deal. That's where people go, convenience stores, there's food there. Well, he was one of the first people that did, it was a service station before. Now he's selling food there. So one day, like the biggest competitor in his area got pissed off at him and started painting over his signs. So Colonel Sanders and two guys from like Shell Gas Company or something with him one day, and they're like, we're gonna go talk to this guy, we're gonna tell him what's up. So Colonel Sanders has got a pistol in his pocket. He goes over there and gets out at this guy's building, and the guy comes out and just starts unloading on him, shooting him, shoots one of the gas station guy or one of the Shell oil guys and kills him.
Nice Colonel Sanders.
He's hiding behind the car door, shooting back at the guy, F-bomb him, cussing him out. And so long story short, that's what he did before he became KFC Colonel Fried Chicken guy.
You look at that guy and you're like, he's like a nice grandpa.
Exactly.
Like, there's no way he would do anything bad.
Gunfights, had a reputation for a foul mouth, cuss every other word.
Oh my God.
That's the story you never hear. And the dude didn't hit, like, I don't think he was a billionaire. He was definitely millionaire. So what would that translate to today? I don't know. 62 years old before he sold or did his first KFC franchise. Ray Kroc, the McDonald's guy. How old do you think he was when he bought the first McDonald's franchise?
McDonald's?
He didn't start McDonald's. He bought the franchise from two brothers.
He took it. He didn't really he kind of stole it from those guys. But yeah, no, that guy's a genius. And I don't think he started until what, his 50s, something like that?
59 years old.
Yeah, that's insane.
So
that's absolutely crazy.
But the story is these guys kept hustling.
Yeah.
At that age, what we don't hear is how many times they failed, how many times they tried something else that didn't work, and they were like, what the heck? Keep going, keep going, show up every day, do something. You're going to fail, but keep doing something.
Absolutely. Well, you're doing really well in self-storage, but that wasn't your first business.
Oh,
like
no.
You started in a ton of different real estate industries and businesses, right? And worked your way to where you're at now.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. So I started with one crappy little rental house that I probably wouldn't even buy today. It had a tree growing through the house. Literally, there was a tree growing.
That's like a perk of a house. You know, they have those big trees in the middle of them, those luxury homes.
Yeah. It wasn't an arboretum in the middle of the house. There was just a tree growing up through the floor. But hey, fixed that problem, and from there, now I would say I'm at that level where everybody, well, I say a lot of people probably claim they want to be. I've got more time than I've ever had before. I've got financial freedom at this point, I would say, and I mean, I'm doing what I want to do now. You know, I spend a lot of time doing a lot of free work for other people, but that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. And you didn't
um,
start as a self-storage investor. You weren't like, day
no,
one, you weren't like, I'm going to go buy self-storage units. I mean, you probably didn't have any cash. You had no money to do that. So you had to kind of
I
start
did
somewhere
not.
else.
That was nowhere on my radar
Yeah.
at all. I didn't know anything about it. I'd used it, and even when I got into real estate, it still wasn't on my radar. I just didn't understand it, didn't know anything about it. So it's just funny how the path of your life takes to get you to where you really find success.
Yeah. Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
bet all these people, the 50, 60-year-old guys, same thing. The thing that gets you there is because you kept going, you kept pushing, you stayed on the road and kept trying. And you almost, well, did success find me or did I find success?
Yeah. Yeah,
Did the
absolutely. I
money
mean,
find me or did I create the money? I don't know, you know? So,
but that's how
uh,
that's how these guys do it. You start somewhere. You've got to start somewhere. You can't just wish it's going to happen. The lottery cannot be your financial plan. So you have to figure out
no,
something, start something right now and work towards it, right?
absolutely. Despite some people's best efforts to make the lottery their plan,
Yeah.
it doesn't work out real well for most people.
No, it almost never works out. But I mean, think about all the different businesses. I mean, I know I didn't start in land investing. I started insurance, personal training. I was telling these guys before, I started a company. I tried to start a company where we were putting credit card readers into police cars. I mean, I told you about that if you've heard my story.
Told
I
me
had a buddy
about
that got
that.
pulled over. He comes to me and he says he got pulled over and then got arrested, taken to jail because he didn't pay his speeding ticket.
Yeah,
So he comes to me and he says, we got to figure this out. There's got to be a better way where I don't go to jail for a speeding ticket. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So we started a company. We had some pretty big investors and pretty big vendors donating these credit card readers to us. Every bank you can think of thought this was a great idea.
sure.
Unfortunately, obviously didn't work out. We're not talking about my big credit card reader business, but the lessons learned during that process kind of rolled over into the business I'm in now. And it's the constant trial, error, trying different things, moving different directions that kind of get you to where you're at. I think Stan Lee, I was reading about Stan Lee, the comic book guy. He didn't
Spider-Man guy.
Spider-Man guy. He didn't start until his 39 years old was his first comic. But do you think that guy ever drew before the age of 39? He's been drawing his whole life probably. He just finally
Yes.
realized to combine his art, his awesome art with a story and package it and sell it to people.
And my funny thing that didn't work out, and I don't know if I've ever told you this before. I almost bought a boot store once.
No, you didn't.
Cowboy
You were
boots.
almost shoe man like Al Bundy.
And but the same as you with the credit card reader, going through that process leading up to pulling the trigger and then deciding, you know what, this is way too involved for what I'm getting out of it. I was already involved in real estate at that point, and I already had a good bit. And really, what pulled me back from it was when I compared what I'm making in real estate versus the amount of time and just the mental intensity that it would require to go run that business versus running a real estate related business. That's when I can't do this because I realized what it was going to take away from my family. And anyway, real estate, the land thing, the skills that I got from that, it's amazed me how transferable some of those skills are into other areas of real estate.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I think you made a good point too about the shoe the boot business or the boot shoe store. It's you have to turn things down too. You can't do everything.
yes,
Find something. But while you're going through this trial and error, find something that is working, that you're good at, that you have a passion for. Any of those will work, and build it to where it is the best possible thing it can be. That's what all the big guys do. Everybody says, you always see these diversify, right? You always want to diversify. Yeah, if you're Warren Buffett and you have billions of dollars, it's pretty easy to buy something else. If you're PJ Riley and you don't have billions of dollars, you want to stick to something, one thing, and build it. Then the cash that spits off, you can start diversifying and investing in all these other things. But initially, like you said, the boot store ain't working because you got to spend so much time over there. You do that, now your real estate business suffers. So find one thing, dominate it, and then you can start bouncing off. That's how these billionaires started at 60, started becoming billionaires at 60. They were building businesses at 40, at 30, at younger ages. They were kind of growing and building those things.
Let's talk about where we are like now, today, with the economy. Everybody thinks, oh God, the end's coming. It's going to be the new depression. 1930, whatever, 2.0. And that may be true. But I tell you what else. So Ray Kroc, the McDonald's guy, bought a failing business and turned it around. A lot of these people that are now billionaires, they didn't go into a successful business, and they got started when things were bad. So don't not move. Don't take chances because your fear of what's going to happen. Are they going to forgive my student debt or not? Are they going to? Don't fear what may happen. Don't let that fear control you to the point that you just freeze. I see so many people, one guy in particular he's way smarter than me, man. I mean, way smarter than me. This guy, it just baffles me every time I talk to him why he's not doing something. His intelligence is stopping him from getting out and taking those chances. He sees everything that could go wrong, and he lets that blind him from seeing the things that could go right. So anyway, take calculated risks.
Is this a buyer's market?
Do what?
Is this a buyer's market right now? You think we're coming into a buyer's market?
I think we're going to be. I think, and you tell me what you think about this too from a real estate perspective. You've seen what prices have done. You've seen what your land prices have done over the last 2 years. I've seen what the price on self-storage has done. I've seen people buy self-storage portfolios at rates. There's no way they could make money off that facility day one. Their entire strategy is, I can raise rates. I can make the rates go up on that. And if you listen to some of these other big real estate guys, the big apartment guy that's part of the Rich Dad group, Ken McElroy. I'm hearing this from other people. He's had people try to sell him his own apartment complex that he's selling. Like, he's selling it because he's getting out of it like, oh my gosh, I'll never get to sell it for this price again. He has these people that bring deals come to him and say, I got a deal for you. And the way we're going to fix this, we're going to raise rates. And he knows there's no way you can raise rates in those markets. And can you keep doing that in self-storage where I'm at? I'm not so sure. I'm telling you, I'm seeing it this month. I've gotten more people moving out. I've gotten more people not paying. I think that we are starting to see things start to come to fruition that we put off for the last 2 years because everybody had a lot of money. Even the people that at the lower echelon of the economy still had a lot of money. If you look at some of the economic reporting stuff, it says how much money do people actually have in savings accounts? And up until like a couple of months ago, we were still in the green. Now credit card debt's going up. There's just certain things. So I don't know. Don't let any of that stop you from moving forward. Don't let the fact that we think there may be better deals coming down the line stop you from taking the deal you've got on your desk today. But let that deal make sense day one. That's the biggest piece of advice that I've taken away from what few years of experience I have is it better make sense today.
But as far as the land business goes, I'm definitely seeing a lot more sellers So a lot more people wanting to sell their properties. The prices are a little bit higher, just slightly elevated, but I've never gotten so many accepted deals as I have the past maybe month. I've never received this many accepted deals. I would say now, and don't get me wrong, I'm buying, which is it's going against what I'm about to say, but I would say accumulate as much cash as you can, because the big deals I think are coming up. And even if you're an average person, whereas you weren't in the game before, if you're 40, 50 years old and you got some cash sitting aside, hold on to it, keep it safe. And these deals may be popping up. Just keep your eyes open, keep learning, going onto videos, finding people like Keith to talk, ask questions with, because there might be some self-storage deals, there might be some land deals, apartment building deals, businesses. You might be able to buy, that laundromat down the street for a big discount here coming up. So I would advise keeping cash on hand, because I think these deals are going to be coming up soon.
I agree. And now, if you're an active person, actively in the land business or actively in some type of business, my word of guidance would be, now is the time to flip for cash. Flip your land quick, get that cash back. Yes, you're probably giving up some of the long end returns. You could probably make more, but if you develop a theory about what you think will happen, and then you say, well, what if I'm wrong in this direction? What if I'm wrong in that direction? So if we're wrong in the direction that things go up, how difficult is it to stop flipping and start holding out for better returns later? But if we were wrong and things go really, really bad and you're flipping for cash, you are situated in a very good position to be able to take advantage of some of those deals. So
yeah, absolutely right.
And keep doing that until things change. So
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think deals are coming up. Flip as much for cash as you can. If you're a house flipper, do the same thing. Maybe try to get as much as good of a deal or as quick of a deal as you can with a profit.
Sure,
that's kind of what I'm looking at right now as well. Because I think these big deals are coming up, and they're going to come up soon. And this is going to be the time where I think we're going to have a lot of millionaires made over the course of the next 5 or so years that were maybe, making $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 a year at their W-2. They're going to find something. They're going to take advantage of it. Like he said, what do you got to lose at this point, honestly? But they're going to take advantage of that, and they're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, Keith, anything else before we wrap up?
No, man. Thank you. I look forward to doing it again.
Absolutely. This is a good talk, man. I like this. I like this format. Guys, if you like it, let me know. If you're listening out there, if you're out there in the listening world, tell me what you think. Keith, I'm going to ask you the question, because this is the only time I'm going to ask you this. So the only time I'm going to ask you this question, because it's your first time, you're probably going to be here more. I ask the same question at the end of every LandLife podcast. If you could buy land anywhere, and you've bought a lot of land in your life.
Yes.
You could buy land anywhere in the world right now, where would it be and why?
I've got 2 for you.
Okay.
We went to Africa on a hunting trip a year ago, a little over a year ago. So if I could buy this place that we hunted on, which was the size of probably Connecticut, I would buy that place. But you can't own land in that country. Did you know that?
As an American, or just in general? Like they can't own
general, it's in Zambia. The government owns all the land, and you have a 100-year lease on the land.
Oh, okay.
When you go to sell your house that you built on it, the next person has to redo that lease with the government. I didn't know that.
Sounds suspicious.
Yeah, it sounds like if the guy that's in control of the government at the time doesn't like you, he can end your lease, which has happened. So, with that being said, there is another piece of land in Alabama that I have.
There we go. A little better.
Yeah. It's about 1.5 miles of river frontage, covered up with wildlife, and I own the land adjacent to it already. So that would be the piece I want. It's not exotic. It's not an island in the middle of nowhere, but it's what I want. So that's my honest answer.
Let's get it, man. Let's get that. You and I got some land we got to sell in Alabama still too. So
Yeah,
we'll sell one and buy the other.
there you go.
Keith, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for taking time out of your busy self-storage empire to come over and hang out with a little land guy.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Take care. Guys, till next time on Land Life.